Welcome to Lemoore City Council's chambers located at 429 C Street. This is the February 3rd meeting. Also, we are running a concurrent special meeting. Let's see. Please silence all electronic devices as a courtesy to those in attendance. Thank you. If you could please stand for the invocation given by Kimberly Nelson from Lifeway Church and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Father God, we come before you, Lord, and we thank you for this opportunity, Lord, to come before you in this meeting. We invite you into this meeting and we ask for your wisdom upon our city and upon our leaders, that you would guide them in the way that they should go, Lord. We surrender this into your hands. In Jesus' name, amen.
Ready for the pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and go on to roll call.
Councilmember Brewster.
Here.
Councilmember Lyons.
Here.
Councilmember Cruz.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Pornick.
Here.
Mayor. No? Yes?
Here. Any agenda approval additions and or deletions? It's going to be one of those nights, I think. Sorry.
No, we have no changes. I just would like to point out again for the public that there are two agendas. And so there's an item that will be a study session. And so if you only grabbed one agenda, they are both up front.
So we have no ceremonial presentation, so we'll go ahead and move on to the special session, which is the study session, item 2-1, Woodside Homes, proposed neighborhood development. Ms. Trejo.
Thank you. So I'm going to need everybody up here to get really excited about this, okay? Like jump up and down excited because everything that you've been asking for as a council, I feel like is included in this project. We had Woodside Homes approach us wanting to do a development in the city. They already had a lot of things in their project that the council had requested. And then we sat down and I made some recommendations to increase some lot sizes and do some things with parks and make sure there's a park in phase 1 and all of these exciting things. And they've made all of these changes. And so I'm really excited to have them present their idea to you tonight. And I hope that everybody up here is just as excited. So if you can just get really enthusiastic about it and welcome them here. Matt Smith with Woodside Homes is here to present on it.
Welcome, Matt Smith.
Yeah.
How's that for excitement?
You're a lot taller than the other Matts. Yeah.
Well, first of all, just thank you so much for having me and thank you for the wonderful introduction. It's a pleasure to be here. We at Woodside Homes, we've built here twice before in the time that I've been at Woodside in the past 13 years. And we're looking to possibly come back, and we're super excited about this project that we're looking at. It's 115 acres. It's one of the Stephen Walker pieces, if you can kind of picture where this is located. You can kind of see a map here. It's a pretty exciting piece for us. We have the opportunity to develop it in phases. We're looking at developing this in 4 different phases, kind of starting on the south side. If you can kind of picture just to the south of us, right there is Lemoore. So they've just been, I think, putting sewer and water in the road, if I remember correctly. So sewer and water, I believe, is coming up the road. And then this project here, we would start in the south, and that park would be in phase 1. And then we would have a secondary park further up in the 4th phase. And yeah, when we called Marissa to talk about this property, we were very excited, but a little bit nervous because this property is not inside your current general plan. And so we would need to get a general plan amendment in order to make this property work. Now, the sphere of influence, I believe, was already increased to account for this area. Back when you guys looked at the Granville property, I believe at that time, the sphere of influence was increased all the way to the 41. And so that hurdle wouldn't need to be jumped over, but we would need to do a general plan amendment. And so we came with a little bit of excitement, but also trepidation to say we only really want to move forward with the project if we feel like the city's with us and going to work with us to do something similar to what you did with the Granville property. And we said, what's the appetite of the city council to do something like this? And we got the sense that we needed to make a couple adjustments to the map to make it a little bit more palatable to the city. So let me tell you some of the things we changed after that conversation. We heard that larger lot sizes were important. And so we felt like we already had kind of in the city, well, globally speaking, we felt like we'd already kind of got on the larger side, which was a 60 by 120 lot. That's a 7,200 square foot lot minimum. Just as an example, in some of the other cities we build in, right now, the average lot size is probably 45 by 90, just as a kind of an example of a typical lot size these days. It's getting smaller and smaller. The state's putting a lot of pressure to go higher density. So we've proposed 50 by hundreds here. That's a 5,000 square foot lot, and 60 by 120, so a 7,200 square foot lot. But we got some additional feedback that it might be good to go even a little bit bigger on some of the lots. And so we went back and we adjusted some of the lots to be even larger, wider, 70 by 120. And so that would be an 8,400 square foot lot. And the nice thing is that allows some people, if they'd like to contemplate an RV garage, or they just want a little bit more space. And so we're excited about that, and we think it'll be good. And we think we'll be okay as well. We'll be able to charge a lot premium for some of those lots, and we think it'll be okay. We've also included the parks that we mentioned before. A lot of times in different cities, sometimes the cities will say, hey, don't build a park. Instead of building a park, just pay your park impact fee. And we'll take those fees and we'll go build a larger park somewhere else. But we got the sense that you might appreciate actual parks instead of park fees in lieu. And so we've contemplated 2 different parks. And we also thought some cities really like it when you put the park in phase 1. And so we thought, why don't we do that? And so we'll build a park and we'll probably get the models right up there close to that park. So it's a nice selling feature so that the time right when we open up our models, at the same time we have that park open. And so we've tried to kind of work with what we believe are some of the city's goals and desires. Now we can't go, unfortunately, I wish I could just go all really huge lots, but the market doesn't let me do that either. The market says, hey, you kind of need to look at what the surrounding area is able to afford and pay and that type of thing. I will say one thing, and that is, even though I can't go a lot larger lots, Woodside Homes is kind of known for being a little bit more of a premium builder, a little bit more of we call ourselves premium production. So we're still a production builder, similar to like a Lennar or D.R. Horton, but we typically build a nicer home for more money. And so it's more expensive purchase for people, but it's also something that's a little bit higher quality and a little bit nicer. And so that's kind of our MO, is we offer a lot of structural options. If you can kind of picture what a structural option is, you go into a home and it says, well, you can have this be a bedroom, or you can have it be a den, or you can move it around and do this. And so we like to offer a lot of structural options to give people the chance to build the homes that they need for their family. A lot of times builders will just say, hey, that home right there, what you see is what you get. And what we like to say is, hey, no, come and build your home on paper first, and then we'll come build it. We'll build it in the ground as well. So on that note, we're super excited. I've also really appreciative of Matt Ainley being here. Matt Ainley is one of the principals at Four Creeks Engineering. Appreciate him coming. He's our engineer on the project. And if there's technical questions that I don't have answers for, I'm sure Matt will be able to help me on them. But I guess the biggest hope that I had today was just to get a feel for the city's level of engagement here. So just to tell you kind of where I am, just to be super transparent with you, I don't own that property yet. It's still owned by Mr. Stephen Walker. I have a contract on that property. So Woodside Homes controls that property. We have it under contract, and we're in our due diligence period. So we're kind of checking out to say, do we think this project works financially and, on the market side and all these things? So we're checking it out, and we're spending money. We're doing soil studies and environmental studies. We're doing all the studies on it. But one of the studies I'm doing is an informal study to come to the city to say, is there an appetite to work with a group like Woodside Homes to do something like this? Because again, it's not in your general plan. And so we would be coming back to you for a general plan amendment, and we'd be asking the same things that Granville had asked you years ago when they did their project, just to the east of us. And so if we get a sense for the city's not super excited about it, then what we'll probably do is we'll probably cancel our project and move on. If we get a sense that, hey, the city is workable and wants to work with us on something like this, then we'll throw ourselves full-heartedly into it, make sure that it passes due diligence, and then move forward towards the entitlement process. The entitlement process, so the way it would work timing-wise is for the next couple months, we'd be in due diligence. If everything goes well, we'll approve due diligence. We'll tell the seller we're in the deal. And then probably for a year and a half, we'll be coming back to you, processing all the plans for it, right? The general plan amendment, the improvement plans, and all of those type of things, and getting it all ready to go. And then once we buy the property, the hope would be the next day we're in the dirt digging and doing land development. So just a touch on who Woodside Homes is. We were founded in Utah in 1977, and we've got 6 or 7, we had 6 or 7 divisions before we were purchased by the largest Japanese home builder. We're owned by a company called Sekisui House. It's the largest Japanese home builder. And so that's offered us a lot of stability. Our mother company has a lot of stability, let's put it that way. And if you look them up, they have a bond rating that's similar to like Bank of America. So a super well-respected, financially strong company. Again, that's Sekisui House, the mother company of Woodside Homes. So that's a little bit about who we are. And I'd be happy to take any questions or discuss any of our project with you. And again, thank you so much for having me.
So before I unleash them on you, I just have a couple of
Please,
questions
please.
because I don't want these to get lost in the chaos.
Yes,
Do you know what the park sizes are that you're going to be having?
it's a great question. I don't recall what, so this was drawn by David Duda, and I'm not exactly sure which park sizes. Do you know, Matt, on that? Okay.
Oh, okay.
3.7.
Was it 3, 7, and 2, 7? Okay.
But those are not pocket parks by any means.
Right. If
Yeah.
you think of a pocket park, oftentimes that'll be a half acre, little pocket park. And so these are large parks. Yeah, for sure.
The next question I had, did you have, I don't know how far you've got, you're probably
Mhm.
not far at all in the
Yeah,
planning, but you might have heard this already, but my biggest thing is a dog park. We only have one in the city. So was that something that you were potentially going to incorporate?
We've definitely thought about that. And I think even in the map here, can you see that?
You zoom in, I think they
Oh.
put,
It's
Yeah, in that far corner,
little.
it says dog.
Wow,
park.
you saw that?
Yeah.
Well, I've got my reader.
He's got
He's like.
he's got
Wow.
burnt hole through the screen. So
Very nice.
So we contemplated a little dog park down there in that lower left-hand corner of that first park.
And then and the next question I have up there on this particular page, towards the top in the phase 4, how you have exit right there, entrance exit. I just foresee maybe that being an issue on Lacey. Like, are you thinking about? I don't know what that's going to look like. If there's any improvements or turn lane or something that can be.
Yeah, we definitely have to take a look at that with your engineer, Steve Brandt, and make sure that we understood, and Matt Ainley would help us take a look at it. But oftentimes we might have to improve like a little acceleration lane, or just make sure the turn pockets are right and everything. But we'd have to take a look at that for sure. The one reason that it's kind of nice to have it up there is just so that we can make sure that we have flow through the project of traffic. You're always going to definitely want at least 2 points of access. We do have one on the west side of the project and on the south. I do believe, though, that if we could have one on the north somewhere up there, it's going to be meaningful, just so you can get a real nice flow of traffic, just because there'll be a decent number of homes there. I think we have 400. I think we're between 420 and 430. Is it 430? Yeah, right around there. So now that's fluctuated a tiny bit. At first, I think the map that we initially brought, I think, had 500 lots. And so that's something we've toned down as we've gotten the lots a little bit bigger and put the parks in. And one other addition we made was we we put the storm drain basin down in the bottom left. We had just on, not to interrupt you, but to kind of build off what you're saying, that the concept on the storm drain basin was, and something for us to discuss would be the potential, what we've understood is that probably because of the water table, you can't go too deep on your storm drain basins, right? Especially in Lemoore, because the water's a little bit higher underground. And so one idea would be to go kind of shallow, but to have it be a dual use. Maybe it kind of serves as a park as well. I don't know if you've kind of seen some of those around where it's like when it's not raining, it kind of serves as a little ball field. And then when it's raining, it fills up halfway with water.
We do have one of those in town, actually.
Do you have one of those in?
Another practice field.
Yeah. Well, I got questions, don't worry. Oh, yeah, yeah. So, Mayor, my apologies, but hopefully that helps answer. Then did you have any
My
other
last
questions?
question, I believe, is, well, I guess maybe two
Please.
questions. You have 4 different phases. Do you know what is, I mean, I'm assuming it depends on the market as well, but how quickly do you expect this getting built out?
Great question, great question. We would assume, any project that gives you about 3 home closings per month is pretty average. We'll have 2 product lines. There'll probably be a little bit of cannibalization between those product lines. So I wouldn't expect 3 and 3 a month, but we might expect 2.5 and 2 a month. So 4.5 a month, times 12. You're kind of in there just a little bit above 50. So we'd be here a while. We'd be here 7 or 8 years probably as we build the community out. We are, just in full disclosure, we're buying the entire property at once. So we're not buying it in phases, buying it all at once. So Woodside will own the entire property, but then just developing it in phases is the concept there.
So phase 1, that's a considerable number of houses.
Mhm.
And it looks like that would only have 1 entrance and exit currently.
I think it would have, I believe it would have 2.
Oh, the north part.
Yeah, because it has the one just to the north of that basin on that
Gotcha.
west side of the project.
Yeah, on 18.
Oh, it will actually even go to, yeah, I see.
So if I'm thinking about that right, I think it would have two access points there. Yeah, we'd want to make sure to have pretty good flow there right off the get-go.
Very nice. That's all I had. So
Thank
I
you.
will unleash the dragon.
Oh man, I'm nervous. Kind of scared here. Just kidding.
Brewster?
No, I'll give it to Doc.
Oh,
So you've got 483 units. And you indicate you have 25 that you consider large lots, 70 by 120.
Mhm.
There's 35.
I'm going by what's up here
Oh.
on this thing. It says,
By the color code.
I counted 39 based upon your color scheme, but maybe my color's off. So,
Let's see what.
but I guess my point is it's less
Yeah,
than
please.
10% for larger lots.
Yeah, we really believe that we really believe that a 60 by 120 is already kind of on the larger side for today's lot. So going above and beyond and doing 10% of our lots even larger, we felt like is probably the max that we could do. Just as kind
Of the
please.
138 units, what do you predict? You said you're gonna have 2 models or 2?
Yeah, we'd have 2 sets of models.
So of those,
Mhm.
of the 438, how many of them are 2-story homes?
Yeah, good question. We don't have that totally solidified yet. We haven't designed the product yet, but I'll kind of give you an example of what we would probably build. Usually what we would build is on the 50-foot wide lots, so the smaller lots, we would typically have 2 single-story plans and 3 2-story plans. The single-story plans probably get as high as 1,600 or 1,700 square feet. These are on the smaller lots. And the 2-story homes might get as large as 2,500 square feet. On the larger lots, the 60-foot lots and the 60 and 70-foot wide lots, we love to do as many single stories as we can. So we would probably be able to do we'd probably have 5 plans on the larger lots, and 3 of those plans would be single stories. That's typically the way that would go. And that means we could have a single story, probably as large as about 2,600 square feet. That's as much as you can usually fit on that lot. So we'd like to do big single stories as kind of one of our calling cards. So we'd go as large as we could, probably 2,600 square feet. And then we would do typically two stories. Usually that largest 2-story is a lot larger than a lot of people typically build, a lot of builders. It typically gets up to 30 to 3,500 square feet on that largest 2-story plan. So if that kind of.
One of my concerns is,
Yeah, please.
is resale.
Yeah,
So if I'm looking for a larger lot, it doesn't look like I have a whole bunch of neighbors that might be in that same area, single story, 2,100 square feet, something like that.
I'm not sure I totally understand the question about resale. I'm sorry.
Well, if I'm buying a home, do I want to be in between two-story homes?
Oh, got it. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but if I'm looking for a 1-story homes, I'm looking for maybe 3 or 4 of them on that block.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I would
And
say.
I guess my question
Yeah.
to you is that with the numbers you have here,
Mhm.
I'm not sure it's as attractive to a buyer as it might be
Okay.
in terms of retaining that value.
Your preference would be a purely single-story community?
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Okay.
But we have a number of them in Lemoore here
Yeah.
that are interspersed. You might have 6 2-stories and 5 single stories within a track,
That seems
Uh,
pretty similar to what I just described here is probably a balance of about 50% to 50%, right? Like on the small lots, 2 singles, three 2-stories. Then on the
So when
larger
you're
lot.
planning it, like, so your models,
Right.
okay? So let's just say in phase 1, right across that, on that entryway on the north there of the retention basin, looks like you got about 10 homes there. So what's that look like in terms of, are those all 2-story or are those all single story, or what is?
Specifically the ones by the park, or specifically the ones by the basin, or just
No,
in
just
general?
as you drive in and to the right as you're driving in driving in, if you're coming in from the retention basin,
From the west side.
and you would be going east, I guess, yeah.
So you're heading east, and your question is, hey, what are some, after the retention basin, what are those lots carrying? Are they carrying singles or 2-stories?
Yeah,
That really will be largely market driven. So we don't typically just go out and start building. We typically let a buyer come choose a lot, and they say, hey, on that lot, I want to put this home. And so we would work with the buyer. We try to avoid, well, we do spec build a little bit, but we generally try to let buyers come in and select a lot. So it'd be largely market driven as to what gets placed where.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Brewster?
So for your parks, what do you guys usually put in your parks?
Yeah, good question. We typically, unless we're designing for like a empty nester neighborhood or something like that, which that wouldn't be the case here. We'd be designing for families. So in our parks, we would typically have some type of play structure. Sometimes we'll have a drinking fountain, benches, but really kind of catering towards young kids and, play equipment, that type of thing, swing sets and slides and those type of things.
So one thing that we're running into right now is we're running out of baseball diamonds. Now, I don't need a full infield, but if you could put baseball diamonds up,
Yeah,
at least the backstop,
yeah.
you got practice fields at least.
Yeah.
Because you're adding 400 homes, so you're going to be bringing how many kids in? So
Yeah.
all your youth sports are going to start to explode a little bit. So I think if you were to not per se just put baseball, but your soccer's going to be impacted, football's going to be impacted, our recreation's going to be impacted. I think if you were to put in some backstops, some basketball courts, Heritage Park has lit up basketball courts. The retention basin, like if you could, I mean, half of our parks are basins anyways, aren't they? So we play flag football in them, we do
Yeah,
baseball
yeah.
in them, we do all that stuff. So if
I'm
that
kind of wondering if the basin would serve as a nice to kind of do like
complex.
ball field or something, something right there.
Yeah, no, I mean, because that's something like, I mean, that would be huge, especially if you would have a total of 6.5 acres almost
Right.
of park space in that subdivision, because I know Lions Park gets just blown up with teams using it. I mean, you go Monday through Friday during this time of year, you have baseball out there. You go during the summertime, you have fall ball, you have soccer, you have flag football, you have all this stuff going on.
Yeah.
So,
To your point, one benefit too, if we did do it right there in the basin near the corner, not only could people from the neighborhood come on up down, but it makes it easy for somebody to kind of park nearby and walk over and use the
yeah,
basin.
no, absolutely.
So,
So I think if you were to integrate at least a couple with just backstops, doesn't have to be anything crazy, but just some fencing backstops into all of the parks, and then if the retention basin could be, you know,
Soccer and flag. football.
soccer, flag football, everything, and even just the diamond themselves, kind of like how Lions Park is. You can play football all the way up to the fence line almost. So it'd be a multi-use
yeah.
space that, eventually if it was ever to be, lights or anything like that, we could expand on that.
I totally like the idea, and if you had a consensus with the council and the planning commission that that's the path you wanted us to go, I don't have any angst with it. So
There would be no problems.
I don't think so. I don't see an issue with, because really the way it would serve as well to me is it would serve like an open green space for some people. Like some people would want to just go use it to walk around.
Yeah.
And cool, go walk around. Or they could use it to go play ball or do
Yeah.
whatever. So I don't really see an issue. It kind of turns into like an active, both walking area, place you can go sit down, have a picnic with your family. So we're not married to the idea of children's play equipment. Well, some cities have pushed us towards children's play equipment, and so we've said that's fine, we can do that. But parks that would gather families and to come play on them like a sports field, I've got no issue with them. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then one last question, and I
Please,
don't
please.
know how this works, but after say all the phases are done, who maintains it?
Yeah, good question. Usually cities have what's like a couple different terms that they would use. Cities use like a CFD or LMD, like a lighting and landscape district or community facility district. So everything gets turned over to the city after everything's done. And the city usually has a couple different mechanisms to charge our homeowners a little bit more in their property taxes. So
To maintain it.
So then the city maintains it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We currently have CFDs that we're implementing currently.
Okay.
So that would help maintain that.
That's it for me.
Any other questions? Cruz, Lyons?
Yeah. So first of all, thank you for coming to Lemoore. Thank you for putting a park in your first zone. Thank you for the larger lots. I mean, I counted 35. Doc might be, I guarantee he's smarter than me. Not by much though. There might be 39. And but even though it says that there's 70, but there's 25 of the 70 by 120s, the color zone on the overall on the top right, it showed, I can't, like I said, I count 35. Some of them look just awkward shaped, and I love it. I want that weird one in phase 2 at the end of that cul-de-sac.
I knew it. It had your name written all over it.
So that's where I want to say thank you. Thank you for hearing our city manager. City manager, thank you for not letting him come in here with the wrong information. And thank you for listening and taking advice and heeding it. It means a lot. It really does.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much. We tried to follow your counsel and thought it was good, great counsel. So thank you for recognizing that.
Going. I'm excited. I'm glad. I'm happy. Haven't felt this way in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments, concerns from council?
Yeah, Cruz has something here. Tell him. Cruz.
No,
Okay.
if anything, just thank you for choosing Lemoore.
Where's your excitement?
Yeah,
We're very excited.
I do have one question on the
Hope your
little
time's
bit
up.
larger, the little bit larger lots. What's the distance between generally, I know you can't get
Yeah.
specifics, but the house and like the fence?
Yeah, great question. So most cities have setbacks of 5 feet on each side. And so like our 50-foot wide lots and our 60-foot wide lots, we would plan for 40-foot wide product and 50-foot wide product homes on there. So we'd have 5 foot between the fence and the home on normal lots. And so like between a house and a house, it would be 10 feet. And that's, may sound skinny, but that's kind of the standard everywhere,
Yeah.
is that 5 foot setback. On the large lots now, because we have an additional 10 feet, they could either, they could either cut that 10 feet in half and give 5 and 5. So now it feels like 10 feet from house to fence and 10 feet to house to fence, or they could kind of push it over. A lot of people like to give more of the space on the garage side. So keep
So you
it
can
5
park
feet over
your
here.
toy hauler or your
Yeah,
RV.
yeah. Keep it 5 feet over here, but over here
Yeah,
go.
make one side skinny and the other
Yeah,
side bigger, so
yeah.
I can.
Yeah, you could have 15 feet on that other side.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
huge, I'm telling you, because there's a lot of people around town that they.
Got toys and
Yes.
want a place to put them. And
Yep.
yeah, that's awesome.
So that strange road that kind of wiggles through it, I obviously, I didn't mean to call it strange, but I can't read it and I don't feel like putting those things back on. What does it say right there? Conceptual roadway
Alignment,
alignment.
circulation element.
Is
It's a whole lot of big words.
But
Yeah.
I could tell you a little bit about that, Mr.
Yeah.
Lyons, if you like.
Yeah.
So if you tell us to take that out, we're gonna take that road out. That road was there from your circulation element, from your general plan, and it kind of starts way over to the east, in the Granville project. You can't see it on this map, so I apologize. But if you look over the Granville project, when you have a chance to see that map, it's got that road going through it, and this is just a continuation of that road. So one day when that piece to our east, that field right there, that Steve Walker piece, that's another Steve Walker piece, when that gets developed, the idea, I think, from the city would be that it would connect from the Granville property all the way through and continue. So it's our attempt. We were basically told by Steve Brandt, like, you got to keep the road going. And so that's our attempt to keep the road going.
So
you know.
is that something that you would build out to 18 3/4, that road, or no?
No, we wouldn't, because we won't own that property to the west. So right there, that the divide between us and the next property to the west is a canal. So we
Yeah.
won't go to the other side because that's not the property.
So that's where you stop.
That's where we would stop. And then likewise, when the property to the west develops and the property to the east develops, they would each put the road in themselves. And so all of a sudden, then it looks like what it was meant to be, this big, long connecting road that goes through. So now again, if you change the circulation element and tell us not to do it, no hurt feelings. For us, it's a big, expensive road to put in. So if you don't want it in there, it's fine.
So all the perimeter lots, the back wall to those along that canal, is that just gonna be a fence, or is it gonna be a block wall, or?
I don't know that we've thought that through yet. Typically, it would be a wood fence, but it's something that can be discussed. It does add, obviously, cost to do a block wall, but so typically on that, we would do a wood fence, but it's something that we could discuss.
Yeah.
So,
I was only curious. I'm not asking for one or the other. I was just curious if you had a direction.
yeah. Typically wood fence, but that's just our standard, but so.
Generally, what would the entrance look like? Is that cinder block, or would you?
Yeah, great question. So like down on the south side of the project, if you were going on that road that's between us and Lennar right there on the south side, you would look to our left, and all those lots back up against there. So all of that would be a block wall.
Okay.
So anything that backs up against the main road would be would be a block, including up there on the
On
north side
Lacey.
as well. Yeah, it'd be block wall. I've got no more. And also you kind of mentioned entrance. We definitely have a nice entry monument that kind of calls out what the project's name is. and
Yeah.
That type of thing.
I'm going to give you guys a break and open this up for any public comment. Is there any public comment on this study session item? I know they've talked it to death, but just in case. Seeing none, I'll bring it back to council. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, had you reached out to any of the homeowners around that area, like that one on the north side on Lacey? Have you talked to them in any way, shape, or form?
We haven't talked to anybody to the north. We have talked a lot to the property to the east because that's also owned by the same owner that we're buying from. So both the property we're developing and the property just to the east, that field, that farm right there to the east is Steve Walker property. So we know Steve. We know the property owner to the south, which is Lennar. We haven't talked to some of those other individuals who also have homes to the south of us, because far west is Lennar, right? Just below us, but we haven't talked to any of those other individuals there. My hope and expectation would be that they would see our project. And again, we try to build a little bit on the higher end. My hope and expectation would be that they would see it as something that would increase their property values.
I think we have no further questions, comments, or concerns, and I think we are excited.
Oh, awesome.
What it seems like anyway, except for Cruz. Just kidding.
Here's his
That's
five-
what excited looks like.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you again for the questions. We are super excited to pursue Lemoore again. It's been several years since we've been here, and we are excited about it. If you have a moment and you'd like to see kind of what we're up to in nearby, we have a project in Hanford. It's our largest project we've ever done. It's in the planning stages right now. It's 300 acres. It's the Singh property off of 12th and Fargo on the northeast corner of 12th and Fargo. And that will have 926 lots. It'll have some commercial and some multifamily. And then also, if you want to see one of our projects that's underway right now, we have two in Visalia. That one's a very large lot deal called Wildflower, and another is a small lot deal called Huckleberry Park. Those are two in Visalia that you might take a look at if you're interested in kind of seeing what we're up to in other nearby cities. So,
But you do have one in Hanford that you finished already, haven't you?
that's right. We've done actually done 3 or 4 in Hanford over the past 12 or 13 years. But to your point, I think the one you might be bringing up, there's one off of 13th Avenue on the east side that's
Right.
just wrapping up right now. That one's called Ella Gardens East and West. I think that one's just concluding right now.
Okay.
And then we have the new one that we're planning, the 300 acres right now. So
That's a part of that one?
different, that one's off of 12th.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's off of 12th. That's in the planning stages. It's just on the west side of the railroad tracks, if you can kind of picture on 12th.
Okay.
And then the other one on 13th is just wrapping up right now off of
Okay.
13th. So
That brought up another question. I
please,
apologize.
please.
What size eaves are the houses that you're currently building?
Ooh. I would probably need to ask my construction guys because I do the land, but I don't totally know the size of the eaves. That's a good question. Do you mind if I circle back with you on that one?
That's fine.
It's a
Yeah,
good question.
curious.
Yeah. great
Because the
question.
ones that don't have any, they look really weird. They
Yeah.
look, not gonna lie, they are very expensive homes, but they look cheap,
Yeah.
because it literally looks like a box. So
Got it.
I hope you guys don't build those. I don't think
No.
you do because you did say you're a premium builder.
Yeah.
You do
Mm-hmm.
have higher expectations for
Yeah.
your homes.
Yep. Yep.
So I don't think you guys build those.
No, if you want to get a sense for what these homes would look like, you may Google Ella Gardens East and Ella Gardens West. The positive there is those are 50 and 60-foot wide lots. So that'll give you a pretty clear picture of the type of product we'd be building. Ella Gardens East and now that's in Hanford, and that's one that's just wrapping up, but you can probably still see all the elevations and kind of get a feel for the structural options and everything we do there. So
You did say Hanford too many times in our
I'm
council
sorry,
meeting,
yeah.
but we will
Very-
forgive
I'm
you for
sorry.
that. That's
I'm
okay.
sorry, I didn't know that was a bad word. I'm sorry.
Just a little bit of rivalry, but
I will retract all statements where I said the
All
word
right.
Hanford. I apologize.
all is forgiven then.
Okay, thank you. Thank
They
you.
know we're better. It's okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think that's all we have for you then. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come and present this to us. I think we truly are very excited, and hope to continue working with you.
Awesome. Well, hopefully we'll see you soon as we get a little bit further down the line and get ready to take this through the entitlement process. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
What's the next step?
Yeah, great question. So for us, so we're going to go a little bit quiet for just a moment, right? We're going to go, it's going to seem like we're quiet to you because what we're going to be doing is making sure that the environmental study, the soil study, everything is good. And we're going to be packaging this up and telling our corporate offices why we should buy this land. And that's the next 3 or 4 months is us convincing our corporate team that this makes sense for us. And one of the things we're going to say is, hey, we went to the city council and we feel like it's generally pretty positive. There's some things I'm sure we'll have to work through, but it generally feels pretty good. And so we'll go convince corporate that we should buy this deal. And then they'll say, okay, we should buy it. We'll get the thumbs up. So we'll approve due diligence. We'll tell Steve Walker, we're buying this deal. And then and then you'll start to see us more because we will start to do the entitlements. We'll start to try to go get this map approved. And so you'll see us saying, hey, we're doing our environmental study with you and our, we're going through the CEQA process and we're doing all the entitlements, and you'll start to see us more as we do that. And because there's a general plan amendment and everything, that's probably going to take us about a year to a year and a half to get all through that process. So we would just ask for your help and patience with us as we get through there. And then as soon as all of that's done, all of the entitlements, so you'll see us a lot for that year and a half. As soon as all of that's done, we buy the property, and the next day we have a tractor out there and we're digging and we're going. It's kind of the time frame. So hopefully that helps. But so it is a lengthy process. But we've navigated it a lot, and usually it's not too bumpy. So we hope that to be the case here too. So
Just a couple more questions
Please.
came to mind as you were talking. Are you familiar with where we stand, Lemoore stands in terms of the county housing plan? In terms of
the county housing plan, no, I don't know where Kings County housing plan is. I do know a lot about the different pressures that the state is applying to everyone, but I don't know specifically on Kings County if there's if I'm thinking about it right, there's probably a push for units and a push for density if it's from the state. Now, I don't know if that's the case from Kings County.
I just ask you to take a look at it and take
Yeah,
a look at the board
absolutely.
in terms of what we're over in and what we're short in. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the other thing is, where does your plan, when do you interact with the planning commission?
Yeah, great question. The planning commission will really be at that time we're taking that map to get it approved, the tentative map to get it approved. And so that first couple months of due diligence that we're in right now, we won't be talking too much to the planning commission, but as soon as that's done and we start to ramp up on our entitlements, then we'll be communicating with the planning commission. Hey, we're coming, and trying to set up a date for planning commission. And usually the date we will have to come back to this body as well, the city council, because there's a general plan amendment. But right before we come back to you, probably at the end of that 1 year or 1.5 year process, we'll come back to planning commission and get our tentative map approved, and come back to city council as well to get that approved and the general plan amendment approved as well. And so we would definitely be seeing you at least one more time as we come back for final approvals of everything.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
And thanks for coming to Lemoore.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now we're going to go ahead and continue with our regular meeting. We have public comment. Public comment will be in accordance with the attached policy. This time is reserved for members of the audience to address the city council on items of interest that are not on the agenda and are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the council. It is recommended that speakers limit their comments to 3 minutes each, and it is requested that no comments be made during this period on items on the agenda. The council is prohibited by law from taking any action on matters discussed that are not on the agenda. Prior to addressing the council, any handouts for council will be provided to the city clerk for distribution to the council and appropriate staff. The public will have an opportunity to comment on items on the agenda once the item has been called and the mayor opens the item to the public. Is there any public comment at this time? Mr. Walker?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. Good evening, everybody listening at home. I hope everybody gets an opportunity to get excited for Lemoore Rotary and the updates that we have to share. Now, it was a really special day because we inducted 3 new members into our club. So it's really exciting that our club is growing. And if you want to be a part of it, or you're just interested in a free lunch to learn more about what we're about here, we're people of action, please reach out to us. We will be more than happy to welcome you. In addition to that, the Rotary Club of Lemoore issued a $5,000 check for First Five for the Kings County. Excuse me. We had a speaker from First Five Kings County for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, and we made a contribution of $5,000 to support the Imagination Library program. It's something that our club has been doing for a long time. Part of our mission is literacy for Lemoore, and in spirit of that, we previously at the Easter egg hunt last year were signing up families for Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, and this has helped to further support that mission. So it's a really exciting thing that we're doing here at the Rotary Club of Lemoore. In addition to that, now putting on my chamber hat, I hoped everybody had a fantastic Friday at the Installation Awards dinner banquet. It was a sold out crowd. It was an incredible time. The food was phenomenal. And not only that, it was just a really unique opportunity to come together as a community. As you know, we had the passing of our CEO, Brenda Martin. We announced that she is going to be the next awardee for the newest award that we're establishing. And that's going to be something that's really special to us. We appreciate our members, our community for their love and support during this difficult time, but it's also a time of celebration. We want to just reaffirm that we're celebrating this year's awardees and our community and all the collaboration that we've done and been able to accomplish, and continue to build on that momentum and those partnerships that we have built over the past year as a newly established, refined chamber. So just wanted to echo those things for the council. Appreciate your continued collaboration. Look forward to working with you very closely. And in addition to that, just want to invite the community of Lemoore to the upcoming event that our city attorney in the city of Lemoore will be supporting on Thursday, February 5th. So if you want to learn about all the wonderful business laws and etc., that is the time to be at that wonderful luncheon. Thank you. I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you, sir. Any other public comment? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on with department and city manager reports.
Thank you. I just want to remind everyone that we have our coffee and community event tomorrow at the rec center at 8 a.m. It is open to the public and we would love to see everyone there.
No other department reports?
No, unless you want to put Cosper on the spot, but he told me he didn't have anything to say.
Okay. We'll let them slide this time. Just be on notice for next time. Just kidding.
It's coming.
We'll go ahead and move on to consent calendar. Items considered routine in nature are placed on the consent calendar. They will be considered and voted upon in one vote as one item unless a council member or member of the public requests individual consideration. Item 4-1, approval minutes, regular meeting, January 20th, 2026. 4-2, information only, fire department update, December 2025. 4-3, information only, investment report for the quarter ended December 31st, 2025. 4-4, approval, second reading ordinance 2026-2, adopting planned unit development number 2025-01, located at 109 Hamlet Street in the city of Lemoore. 4-5, approval task order for rebid phase and construction support services, Daphne Storm Drain Improvement Project. 4-6, approval task order for design and build phase services, Liberty Drive and Glendale Avenue Sewer Lift Station. 4-7, approval offer of dedication and final map, southwest corner of Bush and Acacia. And that's it. I was ready for it to keep going after last meeting. Is there any member of council that would like to pull any of these items? Go ahead.
4.4,
Okay. Just that one?
excuse me, I'm at 4.3.
Okay. Anything else? Is there anyone from the public that would like to pull any of these items? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve consent calendar items 4-1 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I have a motion by Councilmember Lyons,
Second.
second by Councilmember Brewster.
Brewster.
Great.
Brewster.
Councilmember Lyons,
Yes.
Councilmember Brewster,
Yes.
Councilmember Cruz,
Yes.
Councilmember Gornick,
Yes.
and I vote yes as well. Passes 5 in favor. 4-3, I'm assuming you just would like a presentation of the information.
Yes.
Okay.
And my reason for doing this all the time, I just don't believe, this is a very significant item for our city in terms of what we have invested. And so we have been in the financial doldrums for decades and we're not anymore. And this is good work and the city should be proud of it. And Jocelyn does a great job of presenting this and so that our citizens should know about this project and what we're doing.
So as you can see on the staff report, our total cash and investment portfolio ending in Q2 was a total of 81 million. We continue to utilize our same investment opportunities. We have a managed investment portfolio through US Bank. We use pooled funds as well through the state LAIF program, as well as our CAMP program. And then we have our checking account as well. We've had several investments that have matured over this quarter and were subsequently reinvested out through the laddering strategy, continuing on through 5 years. Our investments are strong. Our investments are meeting our goals. We continue to have monthly check-ins with optimized investment partners on those who are watching the interest options. So this quarter, we did move our funds out of CAMP and moved it into LAIF as LAIF was yielding a higher interest rate throughout this quarter. So we do monitor it very closely and move those as the shifts in interest happen. So we are continuing to watch our interest rates and making sure that we're making adjustments to capitalize.
Jasmine, one of the questions I've had from citizens is when they see that number, they said, is that all from 1 year? And I've tried to explain to them that it's not, it certainly, the dollars are there for this year, but those dollars have been accumulated in some of the accounts over the year.
Yes, that
Correct.
81 million makes up all of the funds under, it's not just general
Some
fund or.
departments might have a revenue left over that they haven't spent. That's included in this as well, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Good. Good.
Any other questions or comments?
Comments? Yeah.
Mhm.
Congratulations, Jocelyn,
Thank you.
for getting Dr. Gornick to pull the item just to say thank you and good job. That is amazing. And thank you, Dr. Gornick. Thank you too. Gee whiz. I like it.
Good. It's good news, isn't it?
Yeah, it is good
Yeah.
news. It's great news.
Any
Especially
que-
coming from you. I mean. Too soon?
We haven't approved it.
See what I have to put up
We have
with.
to read the information. Is there any questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, this is the information only, so we don't need to.
I motion to approve it.
Yeah, I'll second.
Thanks. We don't need to do that, so we're gonna move on.
I feel like she has a motion and a second.
Yeah.
Would you call that a wasted motion?
We have no public hearing, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to new business. We have item 6-1, discussion and direction, adjusting city council stipends consistent with government code section 36516. Who wants to take that?
I'll take it because it's back on. It's back on because of me. So we had talked about this last meeting about increasing the stipends per government code. I was incorrect in my initial reading of the code, so the maximum that we put in the staff report was incorrect. And so we wanted to correct that before we actually go out for an ordinance change through a public hearing process. So we wanted to make sure council knew that the actual maximum that we can do in one fell swoop is up to 950. And then after that maximum is reached, that 5% max language applies for the next increase whenever that occurs.
questions, comments, concerns from council?
So really, we'd be looking for direction as to what council would like to be in the ordinance change.
Well, I know we talked about, setting like a flat rate. And then if you were a part of commissions and stuff like that, you would get extra up to the, because you can only go up to the 950, correct?
Yes.
I would say, what were we gonna do last time? It was,
We were at 585. 585 for council with an additional 195 for mayor, which is what it came out to, but it was 780, I believe. 585 and 780.
I thought it was pretty round numbers. I didn't remember 585.
Yeah, it was.
it was because of
It
how
was the
the.
It was by
percentage.
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 Oh,
We
got-
can
I
make
see.
it round numbers because we thought that that was the limit we could go. So if you wanted to make it round numbers, we could do that.
Yes.
And the 950 is total. There's not you can't do 1,050 for the mayor, right? Just so I'm,
That's correct.
okay, so.
So what was the number the attorney recommended there,
Um,
or that we left with last time?
the 585 for city council and 780 for mayor is where we left.
$585 for city council and
780 for mayor.
for the mayor. So we couldn't go 800 for the mayor and 600 for the council.
We can.
I mean, I like round numbers.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, is there a way we could put in the ordinance to where we work up to the 950?
So actually,
Or do we need to just set it right now?
we can, okay, how do you want to word this? We can go up to the maximum 950 right now. We wouldn't work up to the maximum because after,
Because the percentage thing kicks in, right?
And you can't
Correct.
have automatic increases in the ordinance change.
Okay, that's why I mean.
Yeah.
So. Obviously, this is just my opinion here. If you were to do a flat rate of 750 for council, if you were to do any of the extracurricular activities that we all do for commissions, boards, policy committees, all that other stuff, you could do an extra, because I saw there was a bunch of people that do the extra $100 for that, the additional, it's like incentive pay essentially. If you were to do that, you could go up to the 850, so that your flat rate would be 750. If you did a commission, it'd be an additional $100. And then mayor could be 850. And if the mayor was a part of commission, they'd get the extra $100 also. Topping out at 950. That would be my opinion.
I don't have an opinion one way or another what you guys do. I would just like to say if you tie it to commissions, if we could ever get everybody to agree on what those commissions would be. Because sometimes you get asked to be on committees, like maybe you want to say if you're on a policy committee, or if you're on the KCAO board, or if you're on the South Fork Kings or something, and identify what those are so that we know to attach the stipend to them.
Well, one way or another, for me, I have to burn vacation, whether it's a local committee or I'm going to Sacramento. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I think they can be on whatever boards you want them to be. We just need to define what those are so that somebody
say
gets
anything
elected
besides-
later that says, well, I serve on the commission of my neighborhood cat and dog patrol. Like
Well, it'd
we
be the
can't,
assigned commissions.
Well, but you don't have, actually, we have too many commissions. that we have to attend. So the 100, the additional stipend is basically kind of useless. I mean, in a way, my preference would be that.
Yeah, but if you have a council member that gets elected and they just say, I'm not doing it, then they're missing out on the $100. Because it's still requiring you to do other stuff besides show up a first and
I
third
don't think
Tuesday.
our job description says that. That was. my
Well, I
fault.
think that's what he's trying to say. If, correct me if I'm wrong, that's what you're trying to say is in going above and beyond.
If you're good, you're putting in the extra time and the
So
extra effort.
I would say that maybe to Councilmember Gornick's point, then maybe it should specify, because we are supposed to sit on boards and commissions within our county and region. Maybe if you want to if you want to add that specific amount to specify Cal City's policy committee. Because
Yeah,
that's
but
not required.
Even if it's, I understand it's not required, but still, if I go to a KCAG meeting, I have to take vacation.
You also just have to walk across through.
Not no more.
That's true.
So that's what and if say he was on it, he would have to leave Avenel and drive from, or whatever place you're at. So.
Well, I still think, my opinion is, I still think it's better to, there's a lot of important commissions, whether it's the groundwater or whether it's the county, KCAG, or whether it's the recycling, county waste. I guess my point is that the job description of the city council member should be enumerated as such that in addition to the council meetings, there will be other assigned tasks required of council members to attend. Okay, and then
Are we even able to do that though?
well, no, that's my point. There's not enough.
I know, but like, are we even able to like, you're gonna go to this?
Well, yeah, no, I mean, if that's my point, if we approve the job description, it's not just attendance at this meeting. It's attendance at some of the other meetings that we have to be involved. And whether you got to burn a vacation day or not, it's, you got
Or just
limited.
do a flat rate, 850, 950.
That's what I'm saying, I mean, wouldn't you rather get that amount knowing you're gonna get that as opposed to if you. I don't know.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns from council right now before I open it up to the public? Okay,
Yeah, open.
we'll go ahead and open it up to the public for any weigh in. We're gonna make you wait, Alex.
Hey, Madam Mayor, City Council. Just a quick question in regards to, once the 950 is reached, the 5%, is that yearly after the fact?
Not automatically. So once the municipal code is changed, and let's say we go to 950, we hit that max. Anytime after that the council chooses to change it again, which would require another municipal code change, it can go up 5% per year since the last change that got you to 950.
Okay, so you can have a 5% pay raise once voted on the new code.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the max. Okay. Now I'm tracking now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a bit confusing to me as well, clearly.
Sorry to confuse you about it.
Not a problem. My only thing is give your guys, as I said last time, give yourselves the max. There's more that goes into the job than just what the public sees. Give yourselves the max that you can give yourselves. Mayor, yes, ma'am, you deserve a little bit more than our council members. Just job title alone should require that. But overall, I think city council deserves the max they can take. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Walker?
Speaking as a private citizen and just someone who's a nerd and have seen other models of this, I would recommend keeping it simple. Typically, your chair, mayor, whatever title you're using, would have a slightly more, whether 5 or 10%. That's roughly $100. I would recommend $850 for council, $950 for the mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Reed?
Does the council have a job duties that's specific or is it general? Or is there even anything that says what you're supposed to do?
I don't have it in front of me, but I do, go ahead.
There is a section in the municipal code that identifies the role of the council. But it doesn't entail everything they do. Like everybody who's here does more than what the municipal code requires. But there is a general section that addresses the role of a city council member.
I would suggest that first of all, you do that. Put in there the different roles that you're expected to fulfill. And if they don't fulfill the roles, then that would be a reason that they could be, eliminated from the council. That would be part of their responsibilities and not just well, I don't want to. And on the other hand, as far as the pay, keep it simple and whatever you think is appropriate. Thank you.
So I have a question for you. Not for you. I'm sorry. Not for you, for the attorney. Based off of what you just said. So I know that if I'm understanding you correctly, I know that we currently have, I think the only thing that could disqualify an elected currently is the attendance on council meetings, if it gets to a certain point. Are you suggesting that if we change the job description of council and are elected individuals that do not meet those standards, that could be, that we should maybe change and
Like a
add
pay
that
section?
to our, okay. Is that something that we can do or is that not?
I'm literally looking at the municipal code right now to see what it says. I'm not seeing an actual.
Here's just another crazy idea.
Uh-oh.
So if we identified the key commissions or agencies that we wanted to interact with and included those in the duties, okay? So in addition to the council meetings, you might be required to attend you might be assigned an additional meeting, okay? But, there are so many other councils that we get involved in, and I look at you, Mr. Reed, and he's serving on the mosquito board for us because there wasn't enough of us to go around. And
Well, there was enough of us to go around. So
Well,
nobody wanted to
but-
do it.
well, okay, that's your opinion. I guess my point is there might be a way to include the general population in attending some of those things, or if people are interested in becoming a council member. So, yeah, just say, hey, here's, if you'd like to attend on our behalf and give us a report on those meetings, we could compensate you with a Starbucks card or something. I don't know. But my point is, it could be another way to assess someone's interest in terms of, if they really want to get involved in this.
And that would probably be very dependent upon whichever board it is, because there are some boards where you can have a staff member or a public member. But most of them are an elected that they do
Mhm.
ask for. So I guess it would maybe depend on that.
Yeah. Just a thought.
Or Christina, I know you're reading, but I know that you can multitask. One other thing I'm going to throw out there, if that, and I don't even know what this is going to look like when we're done, but say what Mr. Reed was proposing, we can't do, or in the future do. Would there be some way to maybe deduct from council pay if somebody isn't active like they should be? Or how, because I think I understand what you're saying. That maybe if you have somebody that
Yeah,
doesn't participate.
I understand the goal. I'd have to look at that. I know you can't increase without an ordinance, a complete ordinance change. I don't know if we can build in a mechanism to decrease if certain duties are not met. I've not seen that before. We'd have to finagle that and see if we can do it, but I understand that the goal there, what the goal would be. I think it's probably easier to do it in the positive instead of the negative and add it as a, if you do these things, you will get this, rather than a, if you don't do these things, you will not get this.
That's a city manager job anyway.
Yeah. Just put them on a pit.
Yeah, exactly.
So then you could do like a $750 per council member with $100 bonus for doing boards and another $100 bonus for being the mayor. Which would take you to the $950.
Not, well, yeah, for being, yeah, I suppose for being the mayor. Yes. Yeah, that would work.
But then, well, yeah, I'll leave that up to the pleasure of the council, what your direction is. I think it would go against what some recommendations were of it being clean, but I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. So I'm gonna leave that up to you guys.
I'll tell you, my answer is if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I'm not sure what that means.
I'm not sure.
Well, I
In
don't,
this context.
We reverting back to $300 and $400, or if it ain't broke, don't fix it, or
I think optics say a lot and giving ourselves a raise. Not that it's gonna happen in this cycle.
right.
So it's not like some of us will even see the benefit of it.
Right, I guess we didn't make that clear for the public. This will only go into effect in the next term when new council members or a new term starts for a current council.
So January 26th, correct?
27.
Oh, 27.
Or December, whenever, depending on the schedule.
When when the reorganization happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just depends on the county when they certify the election.
We could declare our stipend as a tip. That way we wouldn't have to pay any tax. I mean, that's another way to give ourselves a raise. Yeah.
Whoever said you weren't funny was wrong.
Nobody said that.
I've heard it said.
Oh,
Let me ask this then, to go off Stewie's point here. What are comparables around to other cities near us within size?
Yeah.
I would say that some smaller cities around us have larger stipends. Coalinga's council stipends are higher than Lemoore's and their population's half the size. I don't have everybody's memorized and I don't want to put them on the spot, but we do have a council member here from Avenel who maybe can tell us what Avenel's stipends are.
I was just gonna do that.
Boy, just put them on blast.
You walked up willingly.
I'm good. We had the similar situation of trying to adjust things and what we came down to is some of us, there's two, at that time, there was two council members that had running their own companies. So they couldn't go to a lot of these different things. So there, we were gonna do that adjustment for different things that you were participating in, but we just said, you know what, let's just bring it to a flat rate. And we did increase it to $450 for all of us, and that's what we did, because some of us weren't able to make all this other stuff. Yeah. So I know at least two of us would be, but the other ones would not be able to. So that's what we did.
Thank you. I have a question for the public members here, if you don't mind. To address what Stuart just mentioned of the public perception. What are your thoughts on that, if you don't mind, Mr. Walker?
You're gonna go by, yeah, are you, Mayor? No, just kidding. In all seriousness, I think it makes council more accessible for other people in the future. Because I think there's a perception out there that you guys are salaried employees. There's a perception out there that you guys make lots and lots of money. But at the end of the day, what's factually true today is that whoever's in the mayor chair gets $400 a month and the rest of the council gets $300. There is a lot of unseen work out there. You guys are lobbying or partnering with your lobbyists, you're advocating, there's committees. in my separate role, which I'm not speaking on, I see a lot of you in these meetings as well. So you're out and about in the community in various spaces. So I think for people who may not have a traditional background, or maybe have like a traditional experience to come to become a council member, this might make it more accessible for them to make that hard decision to run for office, and easier for their family, because there are people out there that probably haven't decided to run for council because they couldn't square it economically. I know that Councilmember Brewster mentioned having to use vacation time in order to meet this commitment, because it is a demanding commitment. So I think the perception out there, there's a statutory cap. It's not like you guys are going to become salaried employees. It's only, I think, 57,000 impact to the city if we're to do the maximum for each of the five. I I think it would make it more equitable, arguably, and ultimately maybe in the better interest for the community at large, because there is a cost of living crisis in our country and our community, and despite what we do here, you still have to meet your family responsibilities and personal responsibilities at the end of the day.
Thank you. Anyone else want to weigh in? Thank you.
Everyone's so happy to see me. I'm gonna echo what Mr. Walker said. That is one big thing when it comes to individuals around my age group. I am 41 years old. I know I look about 60 years old. We'll pass that up. However, that is a big thing for me in regards to what I do in my off time from work, is how is it going to impact my family? If there is not a cost benefit analysis to it, then the individuals need to sit down and do it. Financially, I understand the council does not go everywhere all the time where they're on the constant go. However, there is that time to where you are on the constant go. And I do believe the council deserves to be compensated adequately for it. If that means essentially your 1 month of stipend is a day of no pay at a private job, then that's the benefit to it. That gives you that offset. I do feel this council should get as much money as possible. But then again, I'm just also old salty sailor here. We love our money. So I gotta say, I echo Mr. Walker, and I hope you guys do give yourself the pay increase. There is nothing negative that I see from it when a council member or when body gives himself a pay increase when it is duly justified, since how it was 2007, the last pay increase. It's not like this is an every month request for you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Reed?
Just kind of feeding off what he said. If someone absolutely cannot attend meetings that may be elected to the council, then perhaps you want to go with a flat rate and a stipend amount for those that do. And I think that would probably be a fair way to take care of it. It would not be fair for someone to say, I can't do it, and still get paid the same as everyone else. And I was going to agree with our gentleman from Avenel. You know, I'm getting old. I'm losing my mind here. But I think you need to pay yourselves adequately. You really do. And it's a tough job. I know just from what little I do on the mosquito board, there's a lot of material to look through, and that takes time. And it also takes time from family, and you may have to take vacation. And so I would not disagree with it, but you may want to consider the stipend for serving on the boards. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else want to weigh in since I brought it back out there? Bring it back to council. Any further discussion, any type of direction?
I'm good with the 750 and then the extra 100 for a stipend and extra 100 for the mayor. Totaling at 950.
So you're saying the base of
So base for
750 and
all council would
850
be 750
with 100
for 100 stipend.
whatever, how you would call that. I mean, it is the stipend
We
that we
should,
get.
we have to
extra
determine that
stipend.
tonight? or
No.
We can do that later.
No, I'm looking for consensus to what we put in the ordinance that'll go out for public hearing and full notice public hearing. So this is not the last time we'll be talking about this.
So, yeah,
Yeah, so 750 for the flat rate for all council members. Additional 100 for
Boards and
mini
rec.
boards, whatever, and then an additional 100 for the mayor.
Board specifically appointed by council.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's the key element there,
Yeah.
and we could have a, based upon your recommendations, Madam Manager, bring those to us and we can identify which one we.
Do you want to include language? I don't remember offhand how many council meetings you can miss before you're removed. But say you have a council person who's appointed to a board or commission and they have those same number of absences there. Do you want to then be able to remove their $100 extra stipend?
I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it is,
Before I guess. I'm just looking at the. The remediation issue, if it's a problem, we should bring it up to them. Either the mayor or yourself, bring it up to that individual and say. Thanks,
bless you.
you get back on track, or the next time you're.
Performance
I'd rather than do it, you know what I'm saying? That's. I'm okay with that.
Mr. Reed, did you have something?
I remember what I forgot. Is it my understanding that it will not take effect until the next election for those that are going off the council?
It will apply to all council after the next election,
All council.
even if they were not part of that election.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
It's a great question, by the way. I'm glad you remembered. Is that are
That's-
you making a motion?
Second,
And a motion by Councilmember Brewster, second by Councilmember Gornick. Councilmember Brewster,
Yes.
Councilmember Gornick,
all right,
Councilmember Lyons.
Yeah, ish, yes.
Well, I mean, it's not definite
Yeah.
right now.
I know, just mess around.
Oh, we just need consensus. So
Oh,
that's three.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
It's a
okay.
consensus.
I thought
Okay.
we were just looking for direction, so.
Sorry, it was discussion and direction. Yes. So you have consensus. And just a little tidbit, I will put out there, just for the record, I was asked by a council member when this came up, because I had made a comment that, my husband subsidizes my job. Because as you all know, we just discussed, I get $400 a month. I do sit on several boards. I sit on, boards on top of those boards. Lots of community meetings, lots of community events, things like that I attend, that aren't reimbursed. I don't remember what those numbers were. I only went back as far as my online banking went. It was 4.5 months. And I know that those numbers were very, very close. I don't remember exactly what they were, but that also didn't include day-to-day, I would say fuel charges, but energy charges for my vehicle, wear and tear on my vehicle, anything that I had in there that I wasn't for sure if it was a coffee or a lunch or a dinner or anything that I wasn't positive was council related, I did not include that. And I also didn't include anything that I paid cash for, which I often do because I do not have checks. So I'll just mention that. So that it not only is it a time commitment, it is also a financial commitment to attend all of the things that we attend. So I just want to put that out there as well, that there is a lot that we do, like you said, that people do not see. And the agendas, I can't tell you how much time I spend personally reading all of the agendas. And I do realize that I am a bit of a unicorn in that. I also attend meetings that I don't need to attend, the Board of Supervisors meetings and all of that. So I'm a glutton for punishment, apparently, to add more to my plate than is required. But There is a lot that we do outside of our normal responsibilities as council. So I just wanted to put that out there on the record, just to state that. So we'll go ahead and move on to item 6-2, discussion and direction. And I'm going to remind myself that we just need consensus for appointment for a member to the Kings County Commission on Aging. So I did ask for this to be brought back because Mr. Lyons was unable to make the scheduled meetings due to his work schedule. So they did request actually that we appoint another member that can make those meetings because they too have attendance requirements. So even though Mr. Lyons did his due diligence in communicating with is she an executive?
Bobby Wharton, yeah.
Yeah, executive officer.
Yeah.
I'm not sure her
She's
title,
the-
but
the head of it.
the main person. Yeah. He did a really great job communicating with her and letting us know the things that were going on there, but they do need a warm body in the seat. So I'm bringing that back to see if there is anyone on council that would be interested in fulfilling that appointment. And do you recall the dates and time of those meetings? Or the day of the week? It's a Thursday.
It's a
but
Thursday. It's like the third Thursday at 12,
At 12.
but I'm gonna double check.
So is there a council member pending him checking? Council member that's available on those days to attend that meeting? And it is in Armona at the old library. I don't know what it's called.
So this,
That part I'm not sure, to be honest. Because I know they do have community appointees already. So that one may have to be a council member. I guess that's a great question. Does anybody know? I didn't think about that. That's a great question. Dr. Gornick, I thought you were looking at your calendar.
No, I'm not. I'm,
I'm all waiting.
I'm committed out.
Councilmember Cruz, does that work in your schedule?
Is it, you said third Thursday at 1200?
I believe so. That's what Lyons is checking right now.
Sorry, my phone did an update and I'm having a hard time finding it.
The last one was on the third Thursday,
At 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Yeah.
2 p.m. Thank you. Brewster, I'm assuming that you are or are not available? No?
not on that Thursday. It was a first or fourth, I could do it with my schedule now, but because I work alternating weekend now.
Gotcha.
Do you know the duration of that meeting?
1 hour.
Firm?
Ish.
You can
Sometimes
make
it
it
goes
firm.
long, sometimes it goes.
You can just get up and go.
Yeah, but,
Oh,
but
man.
They give you food.
they got cake at the end. They got the strawberry cake at the end.
I didn't see cake when I was there,
You went to the wrong one.
apparently.
I make a decision tonight.
Okay, maybe we table that to get clarification on who is required to be on the board. And then we'll bring that back. So no consensus. But great discussion. So we'll go ahead and move on to city council reports and was there any public comment on that item? Sorry. Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on to city council reports and requests. Councilmember Brewster.
Councilmember Brewster. Thank you, Mayor.
I don't sound like that.
That's what it sounded like to me. We got done with baseball tryouts last week. We have 300 and like 50 kids, one of our biggest years. Draft, everything. So we're rocking and rolling with that. Attended Cal City's Public Safety Committee meeting Went better than what I thought it was going to be, especially in Sacramento. Um, that was very eye-opening for the public safety world on what really goes on in Sacramento. I mean, you're talking that is all the bills that either went through or got killed because they're horrible. Um, you're talking, they're trying to get rid of license plate readers, but that died. Now they're going after AI report writing stuff or trying to get all that stuff squared away. Somebody came up with a great idea of taking juvenile centers away from counties and wanting to make them privatized. What else? One question that I did have, and maybe Christina can answer, with our city ordinances, like say the homeless one, the camping and all that, do we have a MOU with the DA's office to prosecute that, or does our city attorney prosecute it?
Don't believe we have an MOU with the DA office, so it would be my office, yes.
Okay, yeah, because they were having a bunch of problems down south with the camping ordinance, and they were referring them to the DA's office, and they said this is a civil matter. So that the city put in. So that may be a SoCal thing. I was just wondering. Also, there's still zero funding for Prop 36 on what the voters passed. The governor apparently seems like he doesn't want to put any funding towards it. They were talking about the structural deficit that we have, $18 billion, but we have record-breaking earnings. So we have a spending problem in the wonderful state of California. Seems like that's nothing new. So yeah, big surprise, I know. And then yeah, that was basically it for that. And then we have another meeting coming up in March here, but I'll keep it at that. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Lyons?
No, I don't have anything at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Cruz?
Yeah, Mayor, so I visited Mary Immaculate Queen School and had a talk with their sixth graders. I was very happy to share all these updates about our city. We're trying to make everything smart or turning Lemoore into a smart city. They were really excited about how we define smart city. They had plenty of questions, very curious, and I definitely see a bright future in our future leaders. Yeah, and then we also attended the Lemoore Chamber installation where Mayor Matthews got an award for Citizen of the Year, and as well as Soledad Perez. What was the award?
Public Safety
Public Safety.
Individual of the Year.
Yeah, so it was a proud evening for all of the City of Lemoore staff. So as always, thank you so much for all your hard work.
Councilmember Gornick?
Great job, Jocelyn, on the finance report. And congratulations, Mayor, on
Thank you.
being designated as a neat citizen. Looks like they're starting on the roundabout.
Are they?
The first roundabout.
Yeah.
They got Caltrans out there and PG&E out there, and that's
Still in my thunder, but it's okay.
you what?
You're still in my thunder, but it's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's good news. I hope they first part of February, so that's good. They're sounds like they're right on track. That's it.
No South Fork Kings update.
Well, yeah, we do have one. We have they've identified the amount of water that or the subsidence area that can be designated. And I don't know if that's going to get us over the hump with the state water department, but it's a difficult time for our farmers. And you notice in the last 30 days, a lot more for sale signs have gone up in the county in terms of ag land. And that's a big part of it, access to water. And it's gonna affect us because it's, at some point, it's gonna deal with, what can happen in terms of what kind of jobs we can sustain, as ag diminishes in our county and in the valley. It's not just us, that's it.
Buckle up. No, I'm kidding. At the CART meeting, which is Kings Area Rural Transit, they did receive a clean audit on their financials. They approved the new fixed route service schedule changes, due to the transit facility being a little bit further than it normally is. We also talked about, they're going to be offering across the street from the new transit center, public EV charging, spots. There'll be 12 stalls, level 2 chargers. The rate charge that was approved, it was 21 cents per kilowatt hour plus $1 per charging fee. I did ask if there will be, I don't remember what the terminology is for it. Maybe some of my fellow council members can jog my memory of, like, if you idle too long after your charge, there's typically a fee, because you're taking up the space and somebody can't use it. Currently, they are not planning on doing that, but if it becomes an issue, it is something that they will look at in the future. That location of those stalls are at 208 8th Street in Hanford. Kings Waste Recycling Authority, the Lemoore cleanup days, I believe, are scheduled for March 16th through the 28th. Be on the lookout for that voucher and your utility bill. So if you're somebody that doesn't open your utility bill, make sure you open it next month and get that voucher. So if that's something you would like to take advantage of, and that's basically a free dump day for residents of the city of Lemoore. Something else that we're looking at with KWRA, we'll be looking at the JPA agreement for possible changes to it. It is a very old agreement. I believe it's coming up on 30 years old, 28, 30 years, something like that. So we're just looking at that again to see if there's any changes that might need to be made on there. On Kings County Association of Governments, sorry, I remember Alex telling me to not just say the letters, to say what they mean. So I'm trying to remember that. So I was going to mention that we are finally seeing progress on the roundabouts at Bush and Bellhaven /41. That's been a long time coming. It sounded like, well, they may be doing some preliminary stuff right now. The bulk of the construction, it seems like it might be timed for when school gets out in the summer or just shortly before. So it may impact either right when school's getting out or right when school's coming back in, which isn't ideal, but it's better to do it, over the summer than right in the middle of the school year. They did also select a recruiting firm for the executive director position. As you know, I've mentioned before, Terry King is retiring, so we'll be looking for a new executive director for Kings County Association of Governments, which is a regional board. That firm is Bob Murray and Associates, and they're telling us it will be about up to a 16-week process to thoroughly vet a or few candidates. We also approved the MOU between KCAG and Caltrans. I also attended policy committee in Sacramento I sit on the Housing, Community, and Economic Development. So again, they went through the very long list of bills that have either recently passed or have gotten killed or that are still in the works. I believe we're on year 2 of a 2-year bill cycle. So there's some that they're still working on. One of the things that was a hot topic obviously, Councilmember Gornick alluded to earlier was the RHNA numbers, Regional Housing Needs Assessment numbers, that every city is assigned to basically what our target is supposed to be for new housing of very low, moderate, and whatever the different income levels are. There's been a lot of push at all of the cities level on the inefficiencies there and the number of times that it takes to get unapproved housing element, all those things. So there's been a lot of discussion on, very positive discussion in comparison to previous years on a lot of issues that we're experiencing. Usually it has to do with bigger cities, but it's nice to see that we're all, not that we're all dealing with that because nobody wants to deal with that, but we're all on the same page, it sounds. So looking forward to the next one and maybe diving a little deeper into those. For King's Community Action Organization, they also got a clear audit on their financials, and they did the installation of board members at the last meeting. Everything else was pretty status quo. They did mention that there was a freeze on some funding for some of the programs that they have because it is federal dollars, which affects us here in California. They did say that they will not have an interruption of services unless it goes on for too long, and then that may pose a problem, but for now they're good. I too spoke at MIQ. I got the preschoolers. So that was fun, and that was for their community service day. I got to talk about, things that we do here in the city. One of the requests that one of the kids brought up was a broken light switch, which I did inform him that we don't handle that part, that would be their parents. But it was a fun time, lots of fun discussion, trying to explain what you do to preschoolers was a challenge, but I think we did okay. But it was a lot of fun. They were super sweet. Also attended the Tachi breakfast at the end of January, and I am pleased to announce that the Lemoore Parks and Recreation Foundation was the beneficiary of that breakfast, and they did receive a $5,000 check from Tachi. So thank you, Tachi, for selecting the foundation as a beneficiary, and we're very thankful for the $5,000 to get us started on a positive direction. Also attended a lunch where there was a speaker, Nancy Korsgaden. I hope I said that right. She's a candidate for California Insurance Commissioner. It was very informative. She does have insurance experience, so that sounded very positive and helpful because the last, I think, 6 insurance commissioners actually had no insurance experience. If you can believe it. It's California. I know you can believe it. So that was interesting, and she seemed very knowledgeable about some of the issues that we face. So it was nice to get to hear from her. Also met with local business and PG&E regarding the concern that they had. I already had a meeting scheduled with our PG&E liaison, and this just happened to pop up. So it was kind of a 2-for-1, so that was nice. The meeting went well, and also the subsequent meeting with PG&E went well. Also attended a CalCog Zoom meeting, which is the California Council of Governments. So it's on a state level. It was my first one, so that was very interesting to be a part of that. Lots of people on that meeting. Lemoore, I also attended the Lemoore Chamber installation and awards dinner. Thank you to the Chamber for such a awesome event. It was, like you said, very well attended. Everything was great about it, as Alex said earlier, so I won't go too much into detail there. Today, I attended a Cal Cities Care Court webinar, which was supposed to give cities information on what our role in Care Court. I think it was more maybe for law enforcement, not really for council members, but it was good information, so I'm glad I was a part of that. Today, I also attended this morning the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District Citizen Advisory Committee. We recognize Les Clark, who is out of Taft, so he's out of the north end of the district. He's retiring after 35 years plus of service. I guess the Air Pollution Control District has been in place for 35 years, but he actually was very integral part of forming the air district, getting these counties together to to be in one district, because farmers could be in one county or another county and one would have different rules, and it just so he was very instrumental in forming the district. So that we recognize him today. We also asked for a deeper dive from CARB regarding the Tier 5 engines. Those are for the bigger trucks. You guys are zoning out. Sorry, hopefully everybody else is paying attention. The semi trucks, and the tier 5 is just like cleaner than the tier 4. It was brought up that we thought that it was going to stop at tier 4 and then it was going to go to zero emission in 2037. However, they are bringing a tier 5, which seems counterproductive if you're going to ask people to spend $600,000 to $700,000 on a truck. That will be obsolete in 2037. So we are asking CARB for a deep dive on that. So we're hoping that they can get that to us soon. And they also reported that last year was a record clean year for our air district, which is huge because I know a lot of people sometimes wonder if all of these things that we're doing make a difference, and it does. We continue to improve our air quality, and that is just shows that we are making a difference. So kudos to everyone because that is definitely everyone pitching in and making changes. On the Kings County Homeless Collaborative, the pit count was done in the end of January, so look forward to getting those numbers back. And they did have a presentation on the home project, which is actually through KCAO, and that's a home grant, which was $6.8 million. And I did kind of talk about that after the KCAO meeting last month, but they did kind of present it at the Homeless Collaborative because all of those individuals that and entities that come together for that meeting work towards the same goal, and that's to help end homelessness. So they did do that presentation there. And then I also, let's see. I also want to congratulate our city attorney, who has become the newest partner for Griswold LaSalle. So that's huge. I feel like it wasn't that long ago we were celebrating another milestone. So big things happening, big things happening. Yes, we have a contract.
That's why I flat fee.
Yeah. So I also want to adjourn into closed session in the memory of Brenda Martin, who was, as we spoke, Mr. Walker spoke earlier, the CEO of the chamber. If you don't know Brenda Martin, first of all, I don't think that you probably don't, everyone knows Brenda Martin. She is very connected to the community. She worked very hard to bring unity to a lot of different entities that over the years, just kind of migrated apart. She was working very hard to bring all of those back together, and she was doing a great job of it and doing a great job bringing the chamber back from what it was before she started. So we'll go ahead and adjourn into closed session in her memory. We have closed session item 1, Government Code Section 54957.6, conference with labor negotiator, agency designated representatives, Christina D. Smith, city attorney, and Marissa Trejo, city manager, employee organizations, unrepresented, and general association of service employees. Thank you all for coming.